What coroners deal with is the truth, telling it like it is, saying, forget about the mystery, forget about the rumours and speculation. Here are the facts. Now, make of it what you will. Almost everybody has a personal story to tell about a friend or a relative or someone they know who committed suicide. It's one of the taboo topics that we're never very specific about. It was sort of something to be embarrassed and ashamed about. I think, unpalatable though it is, more discussion, more accurate information can only be for the better. There is a wide range of views. That from the one hand, there is still a group which says that you shouldn't actually allow anything at all. You shouldn't even talk about suicide. There's another side, which I think could be said is basically the mainstream media view in New Zealand and in Australia, that look, you can trust us. We are human beings ourselves. We don't want to find out that someone committed suicide because of the crass way we wrote up a story, but for heaven's sake, let us publish it. I speak to various organisations all around the country, and the feedback I get is, thank goodness someone's saying what you're saying. We welcome this being discussed. And then of course comes the often quite difficult area where people will get up and often for I suspect the first time in their life, in front of 100 other people, start to tell a story about their son, their daughter, their father, whatever restrictions there may be. What we don't want is inquest by media, the thing being played out before it's even come near a coroner. And as I've seen on some programs, going to the park where the person, say, hanged themselves, having an in-depth interview with the grieving mother who's still struggling with the reality of it and in a very vulnerable state herself. That's not responsible reporting in my view. You can't start talking about something as a suicide before it's got to the coroner. In fact, you can't really say anything about it before it goes to the coroner. Media should not be speculating about guilt or innocence, cause and effect and that sort of thing, because we have institutions, i.e. the courts, that actually will decide that in a calm and dispassionate and objective way on evidence. Constantly, media are pushing the boundaries in this area. And we remonstrate with them, and I've spoken with the Freedom in Media group. This is at editor-owner level. Make sure your sub-editors and your journalists do understand what the law is, and that they can't just start talking about a suicide or a presumed suicide without the permission of the coroner. After there's been the inquest, you can basically only publish what the coroner authorises to be published. I'm suggesting to coroners, as they grapple with the higher threshold now in the 2006 Act, that they must be satisfied it will not cause harm to the public, to turn it around and say, would it be beneficial for there to be publication of this amount or all of what I've just said and heard in court? What I'm picking up is increasingly now families are asking for that. In the past they'd be saying, please, there's a personal private tragedy, please don't publish anything. Could you even restrict publication of the name? That's starting to change. They will often say, we don't want this to ever happen to other parents in a comparable situation. Parents need to know what are the warning signs. And of course the problem is, what is normal behaviour in an adolescent young man? Parents particularly need to get some help in knowing what's okay, but what is ringing warning bells. To an adult, the apparent catalyst often appears quite trivial, and you look at it and say, why on earth would that drive that person to take that final ultimate step? Because the reality is you have to go back down the journey, the life journey. It's been building up to something that's been going on. We'd like someone to tell us what we can do. We'd love to help, but we don't know how to help. As a chief coroner or a coroner, we're not the expert in suicide prevention. Our job is, this is what's going on. We are no better qualified than anybody to say what the right answer is. But what we can say is, these factors have emerged in this particular case. We can begin to identify, where did it go wrong? Where did this person start to descend or spiral down to the stage where they took their own life?